This is the Chrissie Swan Show on Nova.
It sure is. Good afternoon. I hope you've had a beautiful start to your Monday. It's Jack with you. Unfortunately, Swanee is not feeling too great today, but do not fret. I've got a jam-packed 2 hours for you with some of our best bits from the last few months. We were really excited a few weeks ago to welcome Nagi from Recipe Tin Eats into the studio, and she told us about her former life in the corporate world. It was quite interesting. We're also going to peek into the mind of Chrissie Swan, chaotic Chrissie, my favourite kind of Chrissie in Windmills of My Mind.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
You're listening to the Chrissie Swan Show on Nova. It's all thanks to our pals at Priceline Pharmacy. Chrissie recently introduced us to a new segment called Windmills of My Mind, and I often call Chrissie chaotic Chrissie, and I think this segment proves it.
But have you ever wondered what it sounds like inside my mind? If you've ever looked at me, met me on the street and said, hey, penny for your thoughts, well, you're about to get it. It's not going to cost you a penny. You're going to want your penny back.
You are.
Because I'm inviting you into my brain. My brain is a very strange, weird and wonderful place, and I've managed to record the types of thoughts that run through it minute by minute.
Let's get into that brain, Swanee.
Like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning on an ever spinning reel.
Heidi's baby must be almost 6 months now.
Oh my God.
Honey is a really cute name. I loved that belt buckle I had in 1989 that looked like the ones that Bros had.
What?
Who was the one that wasn't a twin? Craig Logan.
Bros, remember Bros?
Walnut.
No.
Gingerbread. Upside down cake. His office works open. An electric or even like a cordless mower would surely do the trick. Do cordless mowers exist? That brass mixer tap I got off the hard rubbish collection is still in its box and it has its instructions. What are the odds? Magic. Magic is my favourite Olivia Newton-John song. Call Christy Wheel and Brown.
Hi, Tom.
How do you sell a car?
In the windmills of your mind.
That's factual. I'm tired just listening to it.
I know it's factual because I reckon you've texted me 3 times this week asking if I know anyone that sells cars.
I only said, I asked you once. And I said, can I pay them?
Right.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
We're reliving some of our best bits today, and we recently welcomed this lady into the studio.
The queen of Recipe Tin Eats and our hearts and our kitchens, Nagi, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Chrissie.
It's so great to see you. Thank you for changing our lives one recipe at a time.
Oh, look, I get to eat it all, so it's not exactly a drama from my end.
You have got a new book out. It's called Tonight. It is following on from the enormous success of your first book, Dinner. Now, the stats around Dinner are extraordinary. It won Book of the Year. Like, it was the first cookbook ever to win that accolade.
Weird.
It's the craziest success. This one, are you worried about, the difficult second album syndrome?
I know. I was worried, but we've seen the numbers come through, so we're happy now. My publisher is happy. Put it this way, my publisher is happy. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Just
say it.
I think tomorrow you'll see a release that it's broken records. So,
Hey!
So yeah. I've just Candace out there going, oh my God, she's telling me.
I've just opened it up at any old page. It's like one of those choose your own adventures from when you were a kid. Honey sesame ginger beef. Yes, please.
That's been really popular already, actually. I've seen a lot of feedback on that. People are loving it. That is one of the super, super quick and easy ones.
Do you have a personal favourite recipe that is in that book? If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, it would probably be the Vietnamese coconut lemongrass pulled pork.
Ooh.
Simply because it is literally a dump and bake, very few ingredients. It's gluten-free and it's a DIY situation.
I need to talk to you about that because I think that's going to be the key to my dream recipe for a similar thing, but with chicken. I'm going to speak to you about that after later. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I like it because it's a DIY situation. So you put out this golden pan-fried shredded pork infused with coconut and lemongrass flavours. Like it's the beautiful, the Vietnamese flavours, those fresh flavours.
Yeah.
And then you've got rice noodles, rice. You can do banh mi, rice paper rolls. So it's one of those, you can just choose your own adventure.
Now, as someone that we were just talking off air about this, I love pulled pork and I'm not great in the kitchen and I don't know how to cook it or where to start. Is it easy for someone like me?
Yes.
So easy.
Yes.
What do I do?
You literally just dump a pork in a slow cooker or the oven on a low temperature until it's fall apart
and
tender.
walk away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is for free, if you put it in the morning, you get the free joy of coming home later and the entire house smells like love and care.
Yes.
I was asking Jack earlier because we're waiting for you to arrive. I said, if you didn't have to cook it, what would you eat every day if it was delivered in the way that you like every Friday? And my answer is a beef bourguignon.
Oh, that is a good one.
If I don't have to cook it, because it is a bit of a pain in the ass to cook.
Especially if you make it properly.
Yes.
But guess what? I have a French chef in my team, Michelin-trained French chef in my team. And early this year when I was not well, he might have delivered that to me. And it was like to have a properly trained chef make it for you, it's pretty bloody special.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's to die for.
And his answer was pulled pork. And I'm like, yeah, that's the easiest of all. It's the easiest.
It is easy, but if you've never done it before, you need to break through that barrier. And once you've done it once, you'll never look back.
What would yours be?
Ooh.
You don't have to cook it. You don't have to source the special ingredients. You don't have to make the bouquet garni. You don't have to do anything.
Don't have to do anything.
It just arrives exactly as you like
this
it.
is so boring.
Yeah.
A spag bowl.
Really?
Yes, a really good slow cooked spag bowl. I know I can make it with my eyes closed. I don't need a recipe. But when someone else makes it for you, everything just tastes so much better. Vegemite toast, when someone else makes it for you, tastes freaking amazing.
That is so true.
It is so true.
Yeah.
And spag bowl is one of my absolute all-time favourites.
God, I'd love you to try my spag bowl.
Oh, I would love to try it. Can we put it on my website and call it Chrissie Spag Bowl?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Sensational.
Nagi, I love your backstory and the fact that you worked in corporate finance. Like, you had this whole other life, right?
I did. Do you know what that other life was?
No.
Auditor.
That's what you were doing.
Auditing.
Nagi, you're
Not a tax auditor, though. So not like a tax auditor.
But still,
I know.
your spunk and verve
Right?
have been so wasted.
What kind of auditing? What were you auditing?
Like companies, you'd go into companies and audit their books.
And I want to know, do you miss anything from that former life? Is there any part of it?
I do miss the people. I did actually like my job.
And
I did.
Nagi, you must have driven your colleagues crazy. And I say this in a nice way because when I had a real proper office job, I drove everybody crazy too.
when was the part you knew that you could leave that life?
Well, realistically for me, I needed certain savings.
Yes.
Because I'm not a trust fund baby.
Yeah.
So, I actually work for a living. So I just needed enough savings to tide me over for a couple of years, have a bit to invest into, having a punt at something, and that punt was that.
Yeah.
We've got to ask you, obviously you are the brains and heart behind Recipe Eats, just a massive, massive resource for all the best recipes. Where does the name come from? Jack wants to know.
Oh, those old, you might be too young to remember this, but in the day and age before the internet, people used to keep their recipes in little tins.
Yes, that was what I thought.
Little index cards.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Really?
did. I used to write out my recipes on cards and file them in a tin. So this is literally, it's my digital recipe tin. So
I love that.
I love it.
Speaking of the digital element, I love that no matter what recipe you put in Google, you're the first item to come up. You are the first website to come up. And
We
I'm like,
tested it yesterday. Anything we could think
Everything.
of. Recipe Tin came up first.
Oh,
was
that's
like,
hilarious.
does this woman know someone in Google? Are you paying someone off at Google?
We speak kindly of Lord Google.
Yes,
okay.
yes, we
Nagi,
do.
stick around. Make sure you grab her new cookbook tonight. It is available in stores and online now. Will you stay with us and play a wacky radio game next?
I'm so scared of playing any game that Chrissie plays, but I will stay.
Oh, you'll know all the answers, don't worry.
The Chrissie Swan Show. The Chrissie Swan Show.
I'm going to get onto a little game that I've devised, but first I want to ask you, your website, Recipe Tin Eats, has 500 million hits a year. 500 million.
Do you know how many zeros is in that?
8, 7, 8.
You're the auditor, mate. You
Yeah,
do the
you know.
maths.
I'm the accountant.
You're the numbers lady. I've got to ask you, your co-star in life and in your culinary career is your beautiful dog, Dozer. How many stupid letters do you get from people going, it's unhygienic to have a dog in the kitchen? What happens with his mouth?
So many. And when I put little videos showing him in the kitchen with me, they're like, we didn't see you wash your hands after you fed him. Of course I washed my hands after. I'm not going to stick my hand in Dozer's mouth and then roll a rice paper roll.
Nagi, give us an actual measurable figure between 1 and 10 of how many you give about the letters that you receive from these people. How many?
Negative 12.
Negative 12. All right, let's play this game.
Nagi, you got to tell me straight.
Am I ever going to use this?
Nagi, when you sent me your book very generously, you probably have sent them to everybody, but I like to think that you knew that you were sending mine to me. You sent a peeler with it.
Yes. Do you like? Have you used it?
And Nagi. And the note that you wrote, and again, you probably wrote 1,000 of them, but I like to think you wrote this one especially for me, was this is going to be life-changing, and you are spot on.
Yes.
It is chef's kiss.
Oh.
Big, generous, fluid motions. I've thrown out all my other ones.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I love a tool. I love an appliance. And I'm going to play a round of, Nagi, am I ever going to use this with you?
Okay.
I'm holding up this. I bought it because I make a fantastic burger.
Oh, it's a smash burger tool.
Am I ever going to use it?
Yes, because in my first cookbook dinners, 3-minute smash burgers.
Ooh.
Boom.
We're keeping
Dinner
it, Swan.
in 3 minutes. Keep it.
I just use my hands. Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you take it.
Yeah.
Take it and take a book.
Nagi, am I ever going to use this?
Yes.
It's a mandolin.
Absolutely. You can eat any vegetable raw if you use that.
My fingers are scared of it, though,
no,
Nagi.
you'll be fine. Where's your guard? You don't
I
have
left
a
that
guard?
bit behind.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you've got a guard, you're fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. She's dropped one.
Yeah, no, she's doing good. She's doing good.
Nagi, I've got a dream to make a Vietnamese steamed, like a poached chicken salad with lots of julienne vegetables.
Oh,
the julienne
yes.
by hand. Oh, my God, kill me.
Yes. Cabbage.
Am
Brilliant.
I ever going to use this?
100%. Use that on cabbage. You will never look back. Use it once and you will never look back.
What about carrots?
Carrots as well, but cabbage is the big one with that. It's such a good way to make a mound of cabbage in like 30 seconds.
Really?
It's so
Beautiful.
good.
What, just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, my
absolutely.
God.
On the
Nagi,
cut face. You'll
All
love
right.
it. You'll love it. I've got one.
look, have I got time for
Yeah,
2 more?
go.
Okay.
Nagi, am I ever going to use this?
What
I
is
bu- I
that? Is
bought
that
it.
like a sex toy? What is that?
Well, if it was a sex toy, the answer is definitely yes.
She's keeping it,
She's
baby.
keeping it.
It is not a
She's
sex toy. It is, well, I think the most useful thing in anyone's kitchen is a microplane.
That's a
And I use it-
That is not a microplane.
It's like a macro plane. I bought it from Aldi. It grates parmesan at 5 times the speed of a normal microplane.
Must be giant. I'm going to send
No,
you my
they're small.
microplane. No, I'm sending you my microplane. Then you can compare.
In the
I'll
bin,
accept
Swanee.
it. In the bin,
No,
never
just
gonna
no,
do
keep
that.
it because we're going to compare.
Nagi, I am not the best at following directions or recipes. Nagi, am I ever going to use this? It is a measuring set.
You
Because-
better use that.
Because when a recipe calls for a tablespoon of something, I go, that looks like that.
You don't, Chrissy.
I do.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. How can we make you use them? I mean, they're so gorgeous. Why would you not want to use them?
Well, they're too good to use, as my gran used to say.
Oh, okay. I'll send
because
you a set.
It seems very hard to like measure out a quarter of a teaspoon of bicarb where you can just get your paw in there and sprinkle it.
Oh, I can't listen to this. I'm so scared what your cakes come out like.
Your auditor brain is bursting. You must measure.
Nagi, we love you. Go and get Nagi's new cookbook tonight. It is available in stores and online now. And can you hang around and help me do my tax return?
You don't want me to do that. I'll send you to jail.
The Chrissy Swan Show.
At Priceline Pharmacy, they're all about keeping you sun safe. The best thing you can do to protect yourself from harmful UV rays and premature aging? Wear sunscreen every day.
Head online or in store to shop now at Priceline.
The Chrissy Swan Show. Chrissy's clickbait.
Well, hasn't Dua Lipa set everyone on the trail of unique food combinations
Yes.
since she introduced us all to her jalapeno and pickle Diet Coke hack?
Which wasn't awful.
I really liked
Yeah.
it.
I could, a couple sips I could do. As I started to try to drink the full cup, it got too much, but it wasn't as bad as I thought.
But I reckon if you had it in like a short,
Yeah.
like a whiskey glass, lots of ice, I think it'd be really delicious.
You're right. In like a martini glass even.
Yeah. Just, savour it. Kelly Clarkson has had the great Liam Hemsworth on her show, and she's asked him, does he have any weird food combinations that he likes?
Any odd foods for you that you like?
Yeah, peanut butter and onion sandwiches. And I know it's weird, but I had one of my favourite movies as a child was this film called Little Monsters, which in that movie he wakes up in the middle of the night and goes and makes this sandwich, which is peanut butter and onions. Hold on.
Exactly.
They're not the kind of onions that I used to use. No, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. It's no good.
I reckon exactly what you just said in the song. He's been served brown onions, which are real spicy, and maybe he has a red onion in it,
I would
which is
think
quite
so.
sweet.
Also, what do you think about the combo of him and Laura Dern? Because they're currently doing the press trail for their Netflix rom-com Lonely Planet.
There's a big age difference one, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I'll be watching that.
Same, because I love her, but I would never think to put those two together. Like, it was quite surprising.
I love her too.
And I love him. He's a great dude.
Do you think that'll be sort of hot, the two of them together? I do.
I mean, him, yes. Her, bit mum vibe for me, but that's cool.
Well, yes, she's exactly the same age as Wendy.
Yeah.
So that's why you get the
So I'm
mum
not going
vibe.
to get,
Do you have any weird food combos that you love?
Oh.
Because I like the sound of this peanut butter and onion. It reminds me of my gran used to make a fantastic sandwich, which was just tomato and onion, it sounds like a normal combo, but it was big pieces of raw onion and fresh tomato, also cut really big, and white bread, and it was bloody delicious.
No, I don't. I'm a bit of a snob like that.
Do you ever have peanut butter and Vegemite together?
No.
Oh, God, it's stunning.
Well,
I have it every time.
Really?
Yep, every time I have peanut butter.
I was somewhere the other day and someone ordered Vegemite and Avo. And I was just like...
that's a thing. That's a thing.
Well, it shouldn't be a thing.
Well, it is. I love how angry you are. You are angry like this Reddit article depicts this vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was selling a house. They sold the house, and then right before they handed over the keys, there's time between buying it.
Yeah.
30 days, 60
Your
days,
settlement.
whatever the settlement. The new owners get the keys. They walk in. The entire house, every surface has been painted pale pink.
Oh, that is so irritating.
And it's so vengeful. What for? That would have cost a fortune. Getting stuff painted is expensive. So this vendor, the person that's selling the house, has put in money just to be spiteful.
Yeah, to hate on them.
And also it's illegal.
Make them paint it back. I'd go to the real estate agent and file a suit and make them paint it back to white.
But don't you wonder what makes people tick? Like, what price vengeance?
I mean, vengeance can be fun.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
I recently taught Chrissie how to do something. I don't think she's done it again since, but we were excited that she did it once.
I mean, people can't believe it, but there is such a massive age difference between you and I.
I've never worked out how many years.
Neither have I.
It would be over 20, yes.
Yeah, like 23.
23 years, yeah, wow.
That is crazy.
That's wild.
That is crazy. I still had my full little caterpillar moustache when you were born. It was before I whipped it off. Now, I teach you things like the importance of the Doobie Brothers and Carole King.
Yeah.
And then you teach me things like technology, although you've let me down on the iPad, to be continued.
Oh, what happened with it? Oh, I never did anything,
Nothing.
did I? I was going to handball it to Nick in our IT team.
Didn't do that either.
All right, I'll do that.
Anyway, I digress. You helped me in so many ways. Frank Ocean.
Yes.
Airplane takeoff songs.
Fred again.
Got to wear the T-shirt only once. Notice I've got something fresh on today.
Yeah, well done.
I did have yesterday's top on under and I took it off.
I appreciate it.
You've taught me some technology and I really, really appreciate it. We had a situation earlier this week. I've bought something on Click and Collect, a couple of tortilla containers. I mean, the lady madness is off the charts at the moment. Anyway,
Yes.
I bought them in July and they're still there.
And frankly, they'll stay there.
Yeah, well, they will now because we had a bit of a situation. We don't get into the details.
No.
But you texted me and you said, I'm going to send you a voice note, read the tortilla containers.
Yeah.
First of all, I say, like, who's the youngest one here? I go, Are we in trouble? That's me saying it, a grown woman.
I know.
Anyway, then this thing comes through and I listen to it.
And then I get a text from you back.
And what I've done is I've gone, Jack can't know that I don't know how to do this.
So you had to go.
So I hit something and I started to speak into my phone, but it just transcribed it into a text.
Correct.
The text reads, "Can you hear me? Is this recording? I'm trying to send a voice note. Ha 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 ha."
I then send back a coffin emoji with instructions on how to send a voice note.
And
You hit the plus sign to the left of the keyboard and then hit audio, and then you'll see a red, wave start to come up when you're recording.
And then I think I'm recording and I'm saying to you, I've literally never been older than I am now, but it's translating into text.
So you've hit voice to text, but Swanee, then you figured it out.
I did.
And we managed to save this because I feel like this is big. This is your first ever voice message.
I don't know how to do it again, but yeah.
Is this recording of Killjoy? Those tortilla containers are staying exactly where they are. I'm just going to do my money. I can't show my face.
I can't show my face. I can't show my face there.
The seriousness in the voice note at the end there, I loved it.
Put them back into stock. The shame of it.
13 24 10. We want to ask, have you had to teach someone old something new this
How
week?
very dare you? Can you teach an old dog new tricks? Apparently you can.
You did very well, Swanee.
Thank you.
The Chrissie Swan Show. The Chrissie Swan Show.
I'm officially old. In fact, you make me feel younger and older than I am.
Really? So a bit of both?
Yeah. Like, if you're only just tuning in, Jack had to teach me how to leave a voice, what's it called?
A voice memo.
A voice note?
A voice message.
Can I confess to you again?
What?
I have received messages like that and I've never listened to them.
Haven't you?
No.
I love listening to them. Do you know which app has a better feature though? WhatsApp. You can listen at 1.5 or 2 speed. So when my sister in London sends me a rambling minute 20 voice note, I double it. And I smack that out in 40 seconds.
That is fantastic. I didn't know that. See, you're teaching me stuff all the time. 13 24 10. When have you taught an old person something new? Hello, Jill.
Hi, guys. How are you?
So good. You've got a beautiful voice and a lovely manner, Jilly.
Oh, thank you.
Please tell me what old person has been in a recipient of your knowledge.
I had an elderly client who was in his 90s.
That's what Jack calls me. His elderly client. Yes.
And he's recently had lost his wife at this stage and was feeling a bit lonely. And we were having a bit of a chat and I was like, "Oh, do you have Facebook?" And he was like, "No," he had no idea what it was. So I showed him on my phone and explained that, if you have Facebook, you can, look up at your family and just, be able to see what they're up to every day and things like that. So I thought I'll take time out of my day and sit down with him and help him set up Facebook.
What happened? He'd never seen Facebook.
No, he was in his 90s. He was so oblivious to it all. Fast forward, I then set it all up and then taught him how to FaceTime his family.
Oh,
good on you, Jill.
It was amazing.
Has he worked out OnlyFans yet, or that's the next step?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't showed him yet.
Priceline Pharmacy voucher for you, Jill. We're asking, have you had to teach?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Someone old, something new. Let's go to Caitlin.
Imagine that moment that man saw on a screen.
Nudes.
A person that he was talking to, because his memory would be, the dial-up
Of course.
phone. Mind blown. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Chrissy.
What lesson have you taught an older person recently?
So yesterday I was getting my nails done and there was a lady sitting next to me. She would have been maybe about 60 or 65 and she was being quite rude to the lady doing her nails and at one point even turned to the person next to her and kind of mimicked what the lady had just asked her to do, which was to be still.
What a bitch.
And this was kind of getting on my nerves. So I turned to her and said, maybe if you treat her the way that you wish to be treated, you'll have a much better experience.
Bang!
She might have just gave me a dirty look and looked the other way, but she shut up for the rest of her nails. So it worked.
I love this twist that you're teaching an older lady some manners.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
We're going to relive some lady madness.
Let's go to Reddit, shall we, Jack? One of our favourites.
Our favourite place on the World Wide Web.
I read this this question and I laughed in a very relatable way. I got yelled at by a customer in Target because I ignored her when she was asking for help. I had headphones in, sure, but also I do not work at Target. Now, this is a mistake. I don't know whether it's ever happened to me.
As in if someone's thought you were an employee?
Yeah, like I don't think anyone said, oh, excuse me. Maybe it's happened at Myer or something occasionally.
I can remember like 2 or 3 times recently it's happened to me.
Were you at like Hermes?
No, I wasn't.
I mean, that's a compliment.
I know, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I was at Zara in Chatty, and because like I love Uniqlo, love Zara, don't at me for fast fashion, but when I go in there, I know the floor plan, right? So I walk in, I smack a hard left to go see the shirts and jackets, and then if I want to go to suiting or look at a suit, I go a hard right. So I think people see you walk with such like authority and like you have knowledge about what the product you're going to. They just assume you work there, and they're like, "Hey, excuse me." I'm like, "What?" Like, do you love the radio show?
Next time someone says, "Oh, can you just find this in a meeting for me?" Say, "How very dare you?"
So I get how this can happen.
Yeah, I do it all the time. You can imagine.
Oh my God, you would. That's like peak chaotic Chrissie.
I ask people for very specific assistance in an overly friendly way.
Give me a recent example.
I was at a supermarket and I was looking specifically for straight pretzels.
Yeah. Dead. That's unlike you.
Story. And I looked around, and at the moment of staff member selection, I'm 100% sure. It's not like I just grab the first person. Like, I'm not a total idiot.
No, like you beeline for someone.
I look around, and I go, oh, they work here.
Yeah.
And by the way, people that work anywhere are getting less and less. Like, God, don't ask for any help in a lot of stores. It's like you're wandering around going, does anyone work here?
I know. Soon we're going to be able to just walk out with the stuff. The tags have got security tag beeper will go off and no one will care.
Oh, no, don't worry. There's always security checking your bag.
True.
There's always someone that's working there. Anyway, I will really put in an effort because I get it wrong so often. And I'll say, hello, I'm so sorry. I can't. Like I come in like mum, overly apologetic. Yeah. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I can't seem to find the straight pretzels. I don't want the Parker's ones for this recipe. I give way.
Think you're nuts.
I know, and I give way too much information because I don't want to be a burden. And honestly, 3 times out of 10, so they look at me. They look around like, "Is there a camera?" And they go, they go, "Oh, I don't work here." And it is, and then and I look at them with, oh my God, I've done it again eyes. I go, of course you don't. Sorry. And then I'm going to end up going to the checkout chick.
Oh, the embarrassment.
Only people that work there.
Now check this out.
The Chrissie Swan Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.